So this is Algebra 1 open house. Me first introduce myself, okay, and then we'll introduce the topics that we will going to cover the entire school year and also specifically the fourth semester. Okay, and then we'll take questions before I move on to student only. I will go over kind of like a first unit, okay, the function and the domain range. Okay, and you can get familiar with my teaching style and how do I model the problems and how do I like explain the strategy, things like that. Okay, so here, okay, about me, myself. So I graduated from Colorado School of Mines, okay, with a PhD degree in chemical engineering. So I have been teaching a lot of the different high school math subject. For example, Algebra 1, Algebra 2, pre-calculus, at the 4-band ISD. And from the momentum learning, I have been teaching, I did the contest math before, and also we have the Algebra 1, Algebra 2, pre-calculus, ACT, PACT math part, and also the private school, the entrance test, the IC, the math part. I'm really excited to be working with momentum learning again this year, okay? And I hope I can grow together with my students, okay, and motivate them and reach their maximum strengths. So let's look at our math curriculum offer at Momentum Learning. We offer number sense, the basics, the intermediate, okay, and we also have the 6th grade math, 7th grade math, Algebra 1, geometry, Algebra 2, and we also have the pre-calculus and calculus. So we have the variety of the school math curriculum. So specifically this class will start in September, okay, we'll start in September. So after you settle down with your school stuff, okay, and then in September, we will start the Algebra 1, and then we will be done in December, okay, December the 4th, okay, and then next semester will be the spring semester, the 1B, and then you need to register again, okay, after that. So I want to just quickly remind the Algebra 1, okay, we do not have TA session, but we do have weekly homework, okay, weekly homework. I have some mandatory homework and some optional homework, so if you have extra time to practice, but the answer key, all the answer key will be provided, so you will self-grade and self-evaluate, and you can bring questions, okay, you can bring questions back to the next class. Okay, so this is the class description. This course, okay, will prepare and sets the foundation, okay, for any math class after the Algebra 1. So geometry, Algebra 2, pre-calculus, calculus. Algebra 1 is actually the most of the foundation, okay. You need to get a really good solid foundation for all those high school math classes. So we will continue with some knowledge, starting with the solving equations, okay. And of course, we will expand deeply. We will do the inequality, and we will include quadratic equation that is completely new to you. And we also have exponential function, and we will do a lot of we will do systems, okay, like 2 or 3 equations, and plus a lot of the algebra tools. So most importantly, our course will also include the connections and application to the real world situation. Okay, a lot of the word problems really apply to the real world. Okay, and how to use algebra to solve daily problems. Okay, now specifically in 4th semester, okay, in 4th semester, here are our topics. So we'll go over some of the fundamental of the algebra, okay, and then we will review and expand on the solving the linear equations. Okay, we will have equations, we will have a literal equation. Literal equation means all variables, there's no numbers. Okay, word problems. Okay, and then we will also do the more graphing. We'll graph how to graph the line, how to graph a parallel line, perpendicular line, okay, and how do we find the slope or things like that. And we have the inequality as well. So we have linear inequality, we have system inequality. Oh, I think it should have more. We also have quadratics and the exponential. That's the second semester. Yeah, the fourth semester will have basically cover those. Okay, now before I move on, before I do some like trial lesson, okay, here is, okay, if you have more questions, okay, for the parents or for the student, if you have more questions, we have the phone number you can call during the hours of operation, or you can email us for faster response if outside the operation hours. Okay, now any question from the students or the parents, just for the course itself, like registration or the topics. Okay. If not, okay, let's have the trial class right now. So our topic today, okay, the topic today is the relations, domain range, and the functions, okay, and the functions. So I'm going to start, okay, the definition of the relations. So today you do not have the handout, okay, but each class, okay, when we have the class, so before each class, I will give out the handouts early. You can print out and then print out a hard copy to take your notes, or you can do electronic notes, okay, so it's up to you. So first, let's look at what's the definition for relations. Okay, relations is basically a set of ordered pairs. Okay, the set, okay, and we call the set of the X value is called the domain. Okay, and the set of the Y value we call the range. So we can take a very quick look at our first the example for the first row, okay, the first row here. So this is a relation, okay, this is a relation. It's a set of the order pair. It was the X, Y, okay, X comma Y, X comma Y. Now the set of the all the X values is called a domain. Okay, so we need to remember, domain is about X, range is about Y. We talk about these two terms, okay, domain and a range, all, okay, the algebra 1, algebra 2, pre-calculus, and calculus. Okay, we use that. We say, oh, what is the domain for this function? What is the range for this function? So you need to remember, domain is for the X and the range is for the Y. You know, a lot of times your math teacher, when they teach you something that you have to memorize, do they create something like, you know, maybe crazy words or some fun words to help you memorize it? So this one I learned from other teacher. So the domain is about X. Okay, how do you that? Okay, instead is the docs. Okay, I don't think this is like, you know, really a vocabulary, but domain is about X, and the range is about the Y. So Ray dogs. A lot of my students, okay, still remember that. We have some other things like when we have the slope, I will go over those, like, you know, methods to memorize. So domain is about X, range is about Y. Now let's look at our just the top row. Okay, we will not have time to go over all those, but we'll just have a brief taste, okay, about how the relations can be represented. So it's a set of the order pair. So domain is all those X values. Okay, so remember, domain is all the X values. Now, when we write all the X values, it has to be ordered from least to greatest. Okay, it has to be ordered from the least to greatest, both domain and the range. So if I look at all the X value here, X value here, okay, so what is my least? Okay, I have -3, but do you notice we have 2 of the -3 here, and we do not repeat the value. Okay, so no repeats. I just do not repeat. No repeat. So you do not need to write -3, comma -3. So just the 1, -3 here, and then -2. Okay, the next is 1 and the 3. Okay, now I want you to try for the range. Okay, remember range is the set of the y value. It's also order from the least to greatest. Okay, and then no repeating value. Now, if you know what is that? Okay, can you type in the chat with the fancy bracket, so range. For the students with the device or the iPhone, okay, if you are the student, okay, you can rename your the screen name, okay, so I can call out. Okay, very good, thank you. Charity, right? Did I say correct? How should I say your name?
Cherise.
Cherise. Can you say that? Oh, sorry. Okay.
Cherise.
Cherise. Okay, Cherise. Okay, yes, okay. When we type, when you type, you're typing one by one. So when we write, okay, it's all together. It's all together. Oh, wait. You didn't order from least to greatest. So we need to order from the least to greatest. What is the least y value? Cherise.
-4.
Yeah, very good. So it should be -4 and then 0, okay, and then the 1, and then the 2 and the 5. Okay, those are all the y values. Okay, so this is the order pair, okay, the order pair to represent the relations. But we can also use the table to represent the relations, okay, not just the set of the order pairs. How do we do the table? That's very easy. To x comma y, the order pair, you just write -3, 1. Okay, and then the next order pair is -2, 0, 1, 2, 3, -4, -3, and 5. So this is the XY table, also represents the relations. And we can also have mapping. Okay, mapping can also represent relations. What does mapping mean? So I'm going to write the x value here. So I have -3. Okay, maybe out of order. Okay, so I'm just randomly put that here. And the y, let me also put the random number, random order. Sorry, 1, 2, 0, -4, okay, and the 5. Now mapping is this. So -3, okay, I have order pair -3, 1. So mapping this. -3 also have 5 here. Okay, and 1 is the 2. -2, 0. Okay, and 3 is the -4 here. So the mapping is also showing, okay, the relations, okay, or relations. And one more representation for the relations, the graph, okay, is the graph. The graph, you have the XY coordinate, and then you can do it on the graph with XY coordinate. You will do the X coordinate first. -3, 1, so 1, 2, 3, -3, and 1. So this is one of the point. And -2, 0, 1, comma 2. 3, -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then -3 right over there. Oh, did I? Yeah, -3 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have 4 different representation. Okay, all represent the relations. Okay, all represent the relations. If you were given one of the representation, you can find the other. So for example, if I give you the graph, okay, then you can find what's the order pair, right? Or doing the table, okay, or doing the mapping. So from 1, okay, you can get the other 3. So this is the relation and the different representation. Okay, now let's look at my next topic is domain and a range of continuous graph. Continuous graph. So if I, let me show you back our first page. Our domain and a range, okay, domain is about X, range is about Y, but our domain here is like a dot, 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 right? If you look at the graph, I just have isolate the dots, okay? We call this discrete. Your graph is like a dot, 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 not continuous, not continuous. Okay, now if I have a continuous graph, how are we going to find the domain? How are we going to find the range? For the domain, remember domain is X, so you are, okay, our method is scan your pencil from left to right and along the x-axis, okay, along the x-axis. Let's do that, okay, let's do number one. Okay, get your pencil ready, okay, I have the screen right here. So I want you to, okay, put your pencil on the screen, okay, that's your pencil, ready for that. Moving from left to right, okay, moving from the left to right. Okay, now can you tell me what is the lowest x value? Okay, because we are talking about x of the domain. What do you think the lowest x value you see? Yeah, choose.
Wait. Actually, I don't know.
Okay, what do you think? Like any guess? Any guess? This is the 0. We have -1, 2, 3,
Negative
4,
2.
5.
I think it's -2.
-2 is right here, but have you tried using your pencil? Okay, move your pencil from left to right. So move your pencil from left to right. What do you think the lowest x? We are only talking about x. x2 is right here. I definitely have x lower than that. This is -4. This is -5, right? This is negative, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely lower than -2. So if you use your pencil moving, okay, and okay, I want to give you a hint. Okay, Cherry. Arrow means what? Arrow means going forever, right? Arrow means going forever. Okay, so what do you think the domain? What is the lowest x? Negative infinity. Because it's going forever, right? -10, -100, -1,000, -1,000,000. So that's going to the negative infinity. Okay, now moving your pencil continually to the right, okay, from left to right. Now, what do you think? What is your largest x? Infinity. If we have, okay, from net infinity to infinity, our domain is all real numbers. Okay, how do you write all real numbers? Have your teacher used the all real number before?
Not my school teacher, but like I've learned it in a different math school.
So we have something like that, double line R, that means all real numbers, or some teacher use all ARN or real numbers. Okay, so X can be any numbers. Okay, X can be any numbers, all real numbers. Okay, now let me get rid of this. Okay, because now let's work on the range. Okay, so let's go back. So here for the range, scan your pencil. Now this time is from the bottom to the top along the y-axis because range is about a y. Okay, range is about a y. So this time I want you to put your pencil, okay, on your screen. Okay, put your pencil on your screen. Okay, now move from the bottom to the left. What is the lowest y value you come across? Okay, let me zoom in here. Move your pencil. Okay, move your pencil. I am a terrible Jordan. Okay, so move your pencil. Okay, from the bottom to the top. What is the lowest y you come across?
-1.
Negative what?
Negative infinity.
Okay, so let's see. Is it negative infinity? So I'm moving my pencil. I'm moving my pencil. I'm moving my pencil. I'm moving my pencil. Oh, I'm touching my, okay, I was talking about, okay, this is the graph, right? I'm touching my graph now. This is my lowest y. This is my lowest y. So you are moving. Okay, you cannot see my pen here, but I am moving, right? Just like the blue. Okay, moving here, moving here, moving here, moving here. Oh, I touched my graph. This is my lowest y value, okay? So I still want to keep my pen here, okay? So my lowest y is actually -2, okay? This is my lowest y value. Next, continue. My pencil moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up. What is my highest y value? Now remember, considering I have arrow. Okay, I have arrow. Continue going up. What will be the highest y? Right, the arrow goes forever. The arrow goes forever. So pencil, pencil, pencil.
So it's infinity,
That would be a
real number.
that would be infinity. Okay, so on the top we have infinity and bottom we have -2. So this is not all real numbers because did you notice I don't have any y below the -2. Do you find, okay, my graph, is there anything below -2? There's nothing below -2. So here is my range. My range is actually y is greater than or equal to -2. Or you can say y should be above. Okay, y is above -2. It's not all real numbers, so y is above the -2. And it can be equal because it's not the open circle, so it can be it can be equal here. Okay, let me review. How do we find the domain range? Okay, for continuous graph. Okay, so for domain, you are scanning your pencil along the x-axis from left to right. You find what is the lowest x, what is the largest x, and then try to figure out, okay, what should be the domain range. You are doing the y-axis vertically. So moving from the bottom to the top, okay, what is the lowest y, what is the highest y? Let's practice a couple more, okay, couple more, because domain and range actually are very important topics. So every single function, okay, whenever we introduce our function, algebra 1, algebra 2, pre-calculus and calculus, okay, we talk about domain and range always. So it's very super important. Okay, now let's look at this graph. Okay, let's look at this graph. So let's look at the domain. Okay, remember domain is about x, okay, and the range is about y. So let's look at, okay, move your pencil. Okay, so hold your pencil on my screen, on the screen, okay, on the screen. Your pencil right here, starting right here. I want you to move your pencil from left to right, okay, from left to right. Now, what do you think the lowest x is? Okay, you can type in the chat. Okay, now I have more students here. So let's see. Derek, okay, you can also join in. What do you think? What is the lowest x here? Very good. It is -3. Okay, it's -3. So because when you move here, move here, move here. Oh, okay, this is my lowest x, which is -3. Okay, -3. So very good. Okay, so -3. So I have -3 right here. This is my lower boundary. Okay, now I want you to keep moving. What is my largest x? What is my higher boundary? Good job, Derek. Okay, yeah, good job, Therese. So it's 3. So I know x is between that. Okay, so x is between that. Okay, then between that, for the inequality, okay, you should have learned that. Okay, that means this. So x is between the -3 and 3. Okay, now I want you to do the same thing for the y this time. Okay, I'm not asking what is the lower boundary, what's the largest. boundary, so you do it, just follow follow exactly what I write for the domain. Can you write what should be the range?
It would be it's also -3 to 3.
Yeah, but what's the difference? The middle, it should be y, okay? It should be y.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay, very good. Okay, let's look at one more here. Number 4. Okay, number 4. We have a cup shape. Okay, this is called a quadratic, a parabola. You will learn that in Algebra 1. So let's look at the domain together. Okay, let's look at the domain together. Domain is about x. One more time. So you have your pencil. Moving from left to right. What is your lowest x? Okay, what is your lowest x? Oh, what do you think should be?
Would it be -5? -5 or
1, 2, 3, 4,
whatever?
5. Okay, Cherise, what do you think? What should be the lowest x?
Is it -infinity?
Yeah. Okay, so because Derek, you came a little bit late. We mentioned, okay, what does the arrow mean? The arrow means going forever. Okay, going.
I mean, like, because isn't the slope like decreasing?
Yeah, it is decreasing, but this is why. Okay, this is why we are talking about x. We are talking about x. So x.
I mean, like, isn't the amount of curve decreasing?
Yes, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5.
I mean, like, isn't the amount of curve in the graph decreasing?
Oh, you mean this graph? You mean right now, my side, this one, this graph, this piece?
Yeah. Yeah,
This
like
piece,
when
this piece, we actually call this, the purple part is actually increasing. When we said decreasing or increasing, when we said if it's a function or if it's a graph is increasing or decreasing, we are talking about when you increase the x, okay, when you increase the x, is y increasing or not? So from -5, your y is this. When x equals -4, your y is this. When x equals -3, your y is this. So this part is actually increasing. Okay,
I meant that the slope is like it's getting more steep.
the slope, okay, we are not talking about here. Right now, I only ask you what is the lowest x. Okay, so you are not quite correct. If you're doing the slope, okay, the slope is actually reducing, not increasing. But when you talk about the slope increasing, okay, that's pre-calculus. Okay, that's pre-calculus. So let's take a look because we need to find what is the lowest x and what is the largest x for the domain. Okay, remember domain and range is very important, very important. If you answer wrong, then you get the points off. So when we have the x here is -4, but it keep going -5, -6, -7, going very slow, but okay, it's going to the -infinity. Okay, and then when you move to the other side, okay, it's going to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, positive infinity. So Cherise, what will be our conclusion for the domain? What do you think, Cherise?
Wait, what was the question again?
Oh, if my lowest x is the -infinity, largest x is positive infinity, what's the conclusion for the domain?
It's all real numbers.
Yeah, all real numbers. Okay, all real numbers. Very good. Okay, very good. Okay, now I want you guys think, how do you write a range? Okay, so use the method, scan your pencil from the bottom to the top. What will be my lowest y? What is my highest y? And then how do I write my range? Try it out. Okay, try it out.
The
So you
highest.
you can put it into the chat.
Okay.
You are correct. Okay, 4 is highest y, but how do I write the range? Okay, I can quickly go over the first one we did. So the range, okay, we find -2 is the lowest, right? -2 is the lowest. And then when we write our range, is y is what? Greater than equal to the -2 because it's above the -2. So let's look at number 4. Okay, and you guys are correct. Okay, the highest is -4, the lowest is +4, and then the lowest is -infinity. How do we write the range? All the y is what? All my y, the graph, all my y is what? Below the 4, okay, below the 4. So here is what I write. Y is below the 4. All my y is less than or equal to 4. Okay, let's go to the next page. Okay, we will do two more. Okay, two more practice the domain and the range. Okay, we need to practice a lot just because it's very important. It's the fundamental for all our functions here. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, number 7. Okay, here is my screen here. I want you to look at it, okay, and type your answer for the domain, okay, in the chat. What should be the domain? Okay, very good. Your description is correct. Okay, it's correct. If we combine all the saying, okay, okay, the domain should be all real numbers because the lowest is -infinity and the highest is positive infinity. So it's all real numbers. Okay, so domain is all real numbers. You can write A, R, N, all real numbers. Therese, you also got that?
Wait, I kind of didn't get the range for the number 4.
Okay, so number 4. Okay, number 4, I noticed, did you write the 4 is the highest, right? So 4 is the highest. What is your lowest?
Negative infinity.
Yeah, negative infinity because it's going forever, right? Going forever. Now, you can, when we said the domain and range, usually we will use the inequality to represent the domain and range for the continuous graph or all real numbers. So you can, it's not like describing, say, oh, 4 is highest, negative infinity is the lowest. You actually need to write inequality. So if you look at my graph, all my y, okay, there is nothing above, there's nothing above 4, right? Y equals 4. So I'm drawing the y equals 4. So this is y, everywhere y equals 4. Okay, everywhere y equals 4. Nothing above that 4. Everything is below that 4. All my graph is below that 4 here. If you can pick any points, all the y is lower than 4. Okay, there's no y is above 4. That's why my range is y is less than equal to 4. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, now let's look at back to number 7. Let's look at the range. How do you write a range? What is my lowest y? What is my highest y? No, oh, I forgot. I do not like this graph. Okay, I do not like. So the arrow, how about let's do change a little bit, okay? Because okay, the arrow, does it seems the pattern is continue or like going this? How about I change a little bit? So making Derek your how about I change a little bit? So means means the pattern going on, okay, the pattern going on. Now, in pre-calculus, you will learn this graph. This graph is actually, those are trigonometry, okay? Those are trigonometry, sine, cosine, like that. So let me just do it better. Okay, so I just put that arrow here. That means my pattern will continue, okay? My pattern will continue. So eventually we'll have this, okay? We'll have that. Okay, good job, Derek. Now, if your statement is correct. Now, how do we write in the inequality format? So, Therese, you can also see Derek's chat, right? Message. When we have the when we start, okay, when we have the classes, it's the same. So only you guys can only I'm the only one who to seeing the message, because that way, like we can motivate everybody participate, because some students say, I don't want people seeing me getting wrong. Okay, so we will have those kind of like so right now, Derek just write what is the lowest y, what is the highest y. So Therese, can you tell me what do you think? What is the lowest y?
Negative infinity and the highest one is infinity, I think.
Okay, you're probably still using my arrow earlier. Okay, so right now I'm changing my arrow. So what if my arrow means pattern continuous? Okay, pattern continue means this. Let me keep going this, keep going that. Sorry, it's terrible. Okay, this.
I don't really know them.
Okay, if keep going, then what is my lowest y? My lowest y is right here, -3. What is my highest y? It will be right 2. It's what? Between the -3 and the +2. Yes, okay. So Derek, okay, now look what I write. Because it's between the -3 and the 2. So here is the range. Here is how you write a range. It's between the -3 and the 2. This is what we write for the range, okay, for the range inequality.
I'm on mobile, so I can't write like greater than less than.
I see. So this is what I need the student to write, the range. Y is between the -3 and the 2. Okay, it's fluctuating, right? Between the -3 and the 2, -3 and 2. So my lowest y, my highest y. We do one more and then we move on to the function, okay? Because number 8 is a little bit special here. So number 8, I only, how about, I only need you to do the domain. Let's just do the domain for this number 8. So move your pencil, okay, from left to right. What is my lowest x and what is my largest x? And then how do I write the domain here? Derek, you can keep putting what you can, because you probably don't have those symbols there. Good job. So Therese, have you find the what is the lowest x? What is the lowest x value?
Is it negative infinite?
It is not negative infinity. So if the largest one is actually infinity. Largest one is infinity for the x. but my lowest x, okay, if you move your pencil until this moment, I come across with my graph. This is my lowest x, which is -1. I don't have any x actually to the left side of the -1, right? I don't have anything -2, -3. -1 is my the lowest. So how do we write the domain if this is the case? So x, all the x is to the right side, all the x is greater than or equal to -1. -1, 0, 1, 2. All my x is actually to the right side of the -1 is all greater than or equal to the -1. Okay, we will practice a lot like that. Okay, so in the future. Okay, now we are going to move on. Okay, move on to the function. Okay, to the function. You heard, right? Function a lot of function. Okay, so function notation. Okay, here is about the concept of the function notation because we use that also a lot. So y itself, okay, of course, is the output, but we also used f of x. Okay, you will see this a lot. F of x, g of x, h of x. This is all called function notation. So equation can be written in a form called a function notation. We can use this as a quicker way to evaluate. So I'm going to rewrite this fx equals 2x minus 8. Exactly same is just the y become the fx. Okay, but they are the same. Okay, y is just the fx. They are all the same. So fx, how do we pronounce this? This is f of x. Okay, then equals, okay, equals blah, blah, blah. This is how it. Okay, now how are we going to the function notation to do the evaluation? So I am going to use the first example and then explain the function notation a little bit more. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, so let's look at number 1. Okay, number 1 here. F of x equals x plus 7. Now, part A, we need to evaluate what is f of 5. So I want you to just compare fx and f5. What's the difference? X now become 5, right? X become 5. So x is 5. So here is the evaluate. It's like evaluating where x equals 5, what is the y value? So the difference between the f of x and f of 5 is now x should be replaced by 5. So x now become 5 plus the 7. So this one originally is x, okay, now is the 5 because, okay, x now is 5. So that's equals to 12. Now I can also use this, okay, to explain the function notation, okay, because in Algebra 1, from time to time, we use this when students got confused. So this is a fx like a machine, okay, kind of like a machine. Okay, now it has a feed, okay, the machine has a feed, which is the input, which is the x. So this is the input. Okay, now in the machine, okay, for example 1, what does the machine do? The machine say, whatever I take for the input, okay, I will add a 7. Okay, whatever number, I will add a 7. Okay, next I'm going to spit out. Okay, so next I'm going to spit out my output after plus 7. Okay, after plus 7. So that's my the y out here. So when my feed, okay, when my feed is 5 now, so if my feed or input is 5 now, so the machine will say, oh, 5 plus the 7, okay, plus 7, and then spit out 12 as my results. So I want you to calculate out, okay, what is f of -1, the b? What is f of -1? We are using the same of x. Good job, Therese. Derek, are you still there? Okay, so this time, okay, my x is now -5. Okay, x is -5 now. So I will have, sorry, this time x is -1. So -1 plus the 7 and then equals the 6. Okay, equals the 6. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, now let's look at, let's do number 2. Okay, now this time is g of x. It's the same. We used fx a lot, but we also use g of x, h of x. So this time, g of x, okay, the machine will take the input and then it will triple. Okay, it will triple it, triple the value, and then subtract 8. So the machine, okay, if I do really the machine here, use input x, this time will be triple it, okay, multiply the 3 and then minus the 8, and then that's your output. So what I want you to, okay, look at this. I want you to do B. What is g of -3? What is g of -3? Good job, Barry. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so my x is -3, right? So let's look at this. 3 times the, oh yeah, you got it. 3 times the -3 minus the 8. That's -9 minus 8. That's -17. Good job. Okay, both of you are correct. Now let's move on to a little bit harder one. Okay, a little bit harder one. So number 4. Okay, number 4 here. Now this time the function is, okay, after you receive the input, it will square it and then minus itself. So I want you to try to do f of -4. The function is x squared minus the x. Good job, Therese. So we are going to, okay, we know all the x. What is b? Oh, we already did the b here. Wait, b is wrong. Okay, so let's look at the a first, okay? X is right now -4, so I'm going to have the -4 square minus the -4. Do you notice I use the parentheses for the negative number because, I don't want to be confused with negative number. -4 square is -4 times -4. -4 times -4, that's 16. Minus the negative, minus negative, your teacher probably said, oh, okay, right, making that to the plus. Okay, so it will be +4. Okay, and then it should be equals 20. Okay, should be equals 20. Nope. Okay, now because you did the wrong, okay, let's look at the b, okay, together then. B is x is right now -1. So -1 square. So what do you have? Okay, let me try to think how you get the -1 minus. Okay, remember it's minus x, right? What is my x? X is -1. But Therese, what is -1 square?
Um, is it 1?
It is 1. It is 1.
So
But
the answer is 2.
the answer is 2. Yeah, because in the beginning you wrote a -2. Okay, maybe that's a typo, but it's 1 plus 1 equals 2. Okay. Now the ultimate challenge. Okay, if we will see if you guys can get this correct. Okay, let me see. How about a smaller number? So we can do B. Okay, number 6 fx. Derek, double check. So there are negative sign here. There's also the x is also negative number. This a lot of times, okay, a lot of times students will have calculation mistakes. Let's do that together. Okay, let's do that together. Just because the time issue here. So that equals. So I am going to replace, right? When what the previous one, because now we know x is -1. So I'm going to replace all the x. Okay, replacing all the x with the -1. So let me do that. Negative. Now this sign I need to tell you. Okay, this sign is outside the square. When you do the pandas, okay, remember when you have the pandas, what do you do first? You will do the square first and then the negative sign. This I have to mention that. Okay, the mistakes mainly coming from that. So I have a negative sign. Okay, and then something square, right? That's something square. What is my x value? X value is -1 right now. And then plus 6 times the x, which is -1, and minus the 4. Okay, now let's take a look. Remember pandas, you would do the exponent first, okay? You will do the exponent. So this one, what is -1 squared? So we need to do this part first. We need to do this part first. -1 times -1, that's +1. Okay, and continually, right? So -1. Okay, the 1 is coming from the -1 squared, but the negative sign is still outside. Okay, -1 still outside. Negative sign still outside, and then 6 times -1, that's -6, and then minus the 4. Our final solution will be -11. Okay, so remember, most likely you got this wrong. Okay, this one should be the negative sign outside, so it's -1. How you got the 1? Maybe, yeah, maybe you have some other mistakes there. Okay, that's number 6. Okay. Now, we only have about a couple of minutes, okay, but I like to quickly, those are more like evaluation. So we also have function notation, have this graph, okay, I will quickly do that. So this is the given graph, okay, so you have this graph right here. Okay, now, given the graph, we need to find each of the following. We need to find f of -4. F of -4 means when x equals -4, what is the y value? Okay, when x equals -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. When x equals -4, what is the y value? 2. Okay, so after this, okay, we will be done. So I want you to do, what do you think the C? What is f of 2? F of 2 equals what number? Type your answer in the chat. F of 2 means when x, okay, right? That means when x equals 2, okay, what is the y value? What is y value? Not able to find? Okay, let's do that together then. So f of 2, so where x equals 2. So this is the 0, x is 0, right? X is 1, x is 2, x is 2. Let's see, what is the y value? So this is the x equals 2 right here. Oh, my y is -2. So this is the point 2 comma -2, right? When x equals 2, my y is actually equals -2. So here is the answer. That's -2. Okay, that's -2. Okay, you can relate with that. Oh, looks like Teresa said, oh, fine. Okay, how about, okay, do one question, do one more. D, what is f of 5? Okay, now hopefully you get it now. What is f of 5, Therese?
F of 5 is -1.
Very good, -1, because x is 5 right here. Okay, and then y is -1. Good job, good job. Okay, so so you get maybe, okay, get a little bit familiar with my teaching. So usually if it's completely new stuff, okay, I will first model it, and then we will practice together 1 or 2 more, and then I let you practice 1 or 2 more to check your understanding. Now, if this is something like we review, I will give you some time to do it, and then I will ask a student, what is your strategy? What is your strategy? Maybe we have different strategies, some strategy, maybe even, okay, faster, okay, or you like better, okay, so we will learn from each other, okay, from that way. So once again, our class, okay, will start in September, so if you're interested, okay, so you should there should be a deadline to register and maybe some discount for you. And I hope I can see everyone here in September. Bye.